welcome back everybody. Staff owner sister here, where we talk about anything and everything and
today
bullshit.
It's a more serious one.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
She's going off and I'm just here.
Yeah, she was like, are you sure you don't want to do this one alone? And I was like, no, not really, because like I need someone to know how ridiculous this is.
I'm happy to react.
Yes.
I suggested that because it feels like it should really take the form of a video essay more. Oh, my cat is playing with her little tunnel.
We're gonna have to mute that background noise.
She's so cute. I gotta see if I can film her.
Okay,
My
anyway.
camera's gonna freak out. But yeah, I don't really know how much I can add to this conversation, but I'm here for the ride anyway. You need to put that in, by the way.
Okay. If you did not see the TikTok or the YouTube short, we are talking about...
Or you could put it in.
Oh my god, girl, can I finish the fucking sentence?
Sorry. I'm just gonna go die.
Okay, sorry. We're gonna have to cut that.
No, I like it.
For the 5th time, we are going to talk about whatever I mentioned in the TikTok, okay? Which was I fell down a rabbit hole of autoimmune disorders, which I have one. I've had one for 28 years of my 28 years of life. And the shit that I found was appalling. And I also... Are you okay? Are you like crying? Did I hurt your feelings?
No, I'm laughing at myself. You'll see when you edit.
Alright. What did you do? Like silent fart or something?
No.
Okay. Anyway, we are talking about that. And I'm very much... Okay, I will put in afterwards in like maybe a separate video or an update. Because my track photos and my foot surgery photos I'm going to have to dig for. So I will add those in either when I'm editing or a side note.
Oh, fuck.
Here. Toilet paper.
No.
Fine.
I'll suffer.
Suffer. It's perfectly good tissue paper right here.
I'm coming into this video with absolutely the wrong energy. I'm coming in with like silly, goofy...
And I'm like, oh my god, the world is ending. So, for those who don't know about me, I have had rheumatoid arthritis, juvenile rheumatoid arthritis for my entire life. I got diagnosed when I was 5, and I used to have to go all the way out to like damn near the middle of New York State to go to my doctor. I've went to the local hospitals here. I've been on every single type of medication you can think of. A lot of them are cancer drugs. Had foot surgery. I've had doctors tell me that I was going to be crippled before I was 30, that I was not going to be able to do any sports. I wasn't going to be able to walk. I was going to have to replace my knees and my hips by 25. So, yeah, I've been through some medical shit. Mind you, I also had an anatomy science-y background in school as well. So not only was I kind of, I don't want to say in the medical field, but around the medical field and knowing a lot about medications and like how the skeletal muscular system works and all that jazz. So I had a very good...
Oh, I'm the worst, I know.
You should see what she says to me.
Did you hear her dramatic little laugh?
So I have been in around the medical field, had great relationships with some doctors, and for an update, I am currently in clinical remission as of 2 years ago. So I have not been on any medication since 2017. They had to wait a certain time frame for it to be clinical remission. I have flare-ups now and then. Okay, now that the intro stuff is over. Yes.
Were your doctors on crack? Because it sounds like they were being very, very dramatic, and I look at you thriving, and it's like, what were they, like, were they stupid, or?
Well...
Or was it just a lot worse when you were younger, and they thought it would progress?
Yes, that's what it was. So if you don't know what rheumatoid arthritis is, most people are like, oh, it's an old lady disease or whatever. Basically crippling of the joints.
Also, if you've ever noticed her fingers, I'm utterly fascinated by the fact that her fingers are like right angles.
This one is.
Yeah, they're just like that.
Yeah. So what happens is, and this goes for, I believe, all autoimmune disorders. I know I'm giving a lot of background knowledge for people who aren't familiar.
And you should, because
But it's important.
even I'm not familiar, and you are literally my sister.
So, I'll back up. An autoimmune disorder, get away from the light.
We should probably move her tent a little farther from the light.
She'll just push it back.
My cat loves her little tunnel system. She loves to play. And unfortunately, the tunnel was a little too close to her leg stand, but
Okay.
Alyssa was kind enough to move it.
Anyway, alright. So
if you hear crinkling, it's the maniac.
okay. Autoimmune disorders, if you do not know, it is basically when your immune system goes like, hey, we think there's an intruder, but the intruder is your own body. So it can attack different parts of your body, which determines, I guess, which kind of autoimmune disorder you have. So I like to categorize it as a disorder, not a disease, because to me, disease feels like you can catch it.
Yeah.
Disorder is like, there's just something funky going on. You know, the roads aren't working properly like they should. So for rheumatoid arthritis, how I specifically explained it since I've been little was that there's a ghost running around my body and he's attacking this joint, causing havoc, right? And then my body is like, oh no, there's a fucking intruder in this joint. We gotta go. They're running, they get there, and the ghost is gone, and it starts attacking my cartilage, which calcifies it, which makes my fingers crooked. And then it solidifies, and then there's nothing that you can do. So that's kind of how that body works for it. Usually rheumatoid is categorized by like inflamed joints. I swear to fucking God.
I saw her tail twitching and I knew she was gonna jump. You should have seen my face. I was like watching.
This is gonna be the longest episode.
Also, I do have a question for you, but finish your thought.
Okay, I'll be quick. So, categorized by joint swelling, joint pain, chronic fatigue, chronic headaches, could be major joints, could be both sides, could be smaller joints, could be one side, could be eye issues, heart issues, liver issues from taking too many medications, kidney issues from taking too many medications. There could be a whole slew of things. So, I'll get into a little bit about that later. But okay, anyways.
My question was, when you were younger, like, how did you discover that you had it? Like, what were your symptoms? How did you figure that out at 5 years old?
I would whack my hand on the wall lightly like that, and I'd scream bloody murder. I was constantly sick, always at the doctor's, and like another telltale sign for me for joint issues. Remember that one day when I told you to feel my knee? And it was scalding hot?
Yeah.
That's a flare because it heats up with inflammation and it's swollen. So for me and my mom, how we tested it was she would, like, let's say my elbow hurt. She'd feel my elbow, feel the center of my arm. Feel this elbow, feel the center of this arm. It's hard to do it on yourself unless it's really, really noticeable and you know how to tell. But if, like, you were to take the same hand to go this and then this, and this is hotter than the center, it means the joint is inflamed. So I would just lightly fall down, start bloody murders if I broke my bone, and I didn't. So that's kind of, she's like,
because it must have hurt that bad, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we figured out. I got started on the hardest of hardest drugs to try and stop the inflammation from getting worse and the deterioration. So,
why would they do that to a child?
come here.
Yes, you are a sweetie. However, you're at like an 11 right now, and we need you to dial it back to like a 2. Okay?
You need to be a 0. Alright.
I'll take a 2.
She is fine, so let's keep it rolling for the moment.
Oh, wow. Excuse you. She got that tortitude. She's a dilute tortoiseshell, but her attitude is not dilute.
Don't look at me.
No, it isn't. I'm not afraid of this little munchkin. Literally, why? You just licked me, and now I'm your chew toy?
Okay, back to the task at hand. Alright, so.
You're so cute, even though you're angry. Oh, she's angry. I think you should let her down.
She can get down. I wasn't really holding her. Alright, so we've pissed her off. Hopefully she'll leave us alone. Alright, so any other questions about when I was younger?
What was it like being treated for that when you were younger? Like, I know you mentioned the drug, but just
it was
maybe elaborate on.
It was kind of rough because I was on different medications. So I would have to take naproxen and folic acid every day, twice a day. Well, yeah, twice a day, morning and night. So breakfast and dinner, and you have to eat it with food. So that's why breakfast is a staple for me.
Yeah.
And then on Sundays, I used to have to take methotrexate, which I've taken in 2 forms. Mind you, this is the early 2000s. So I had the liquid one, which is piss yellow. Tastes goddamn awful. And I would just end up spitting it out because it was so gross. And they're like, you gotta take it, you gotta take your meds, you gotta take it to feel better. I was like, I don't want to take them, I don't want to take them. So they're like, all right, fine, don't take them for a week and see how you feel. And I was like, oh shit, I actually kind of need these. And then I took it in pill form, which there's 7 little teeny tiny fucking pills that my mom used to put in yogurt, applesauce, pudding, fucking
7 for one
anything.
dose?
Yeah.
Oh
They were
God.
trying to treat it aggressively to stop whatever was currently happening and bring it back down, and then come up with like a maintenance. So it's like, hey, let's throw a shit ton of water on the fire first, and then clean up and figure out what happened.
I know this is coming from the point of view of someone who knows absolutely butt fucking nothing about this, but I feel like that approach is a little ham-fisted. Like, this is a very small child, and you're just gonna aggressively treat her as much as you can, and then try to figure out.
Yes, because that's why my fingers are deformed.
Yeah.
So had we caught it 3 years earlier...
Oh, then they wouldn't be like...
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So it's like trying to unconcrete something before the concrete sets.
Yeah.
So that's why they go so aggressive.
I see.
And mind you, this is just my experience, what I've been through. Mm-hmm. It could be different for other autoimmune disorders. There's a whole fucking laundry list of them. One thing to note, I was genetically predisposed to this. So my family has thyroid issues.
Which side?
My mom's.
Oh.
Thyroid issues, lupus, heart disease, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, heart attacks, diabetes, you name it, we fucking got it, apparently. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty much...
On top of whatever fun stuff is going on Dad's side.
Yeah, so it was a slot machine for what I was going to get. So I'm glad it's this, I'm glad it's nothing worse, but anyway, I'm very passionate about this. And it's not... It's always been my little friend because it's always been a part of me. So it's like, hey, no, you're attacking my BFF over here. Like, we've been with it through the real list. No. So.
I was going to say, my genetic slot machine is just cancer.
Yeah.
Stroke.
Mine is like heart attacks.
Honestly, I'm kind of lucky that I know that I'm predisposed to cancer that much, because that's the kind of thing where the earlier you catch it, the better off you are. Like, my mother and my grandmother had it, they're both perfectly fine now.
Exactly.
And this was like well over a decade ago that they were like caught it very, very early. My mom's was literally stage 0. So
that's
like,
good.
I saw growing up how important it was to know to look for it. So I've never been scared to get it.
Yeah.
I figure I'm probably going to get it someday, and when I do, I'll just like pop into the doctor and be like, hey, let's cut that out. And they'll be like, okay. And like maybe one or two things to treat it, but like I picture myself as being fine afterwards.
Yeah.
As like
not immediately dying.
Like we'll treat it and I'll be able to move on with my life.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
It's not like it's nothing, but just like it's never been like on my radar. It's like I just forgot about this. It's like we can manage this.
So, just for what clinically autoimmune disorders are, it's basically, if it weren't for the immune system, it's the body's natural defense against outside invaders, blah, 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 blah. I will put a shit ton of sources and articles in the description. Feel free to check them out if you're interested, all that jazz. Okay, so I went down the rabbits of holes, and not the good ones.
Hey, that's us.
Yeah. I do not have a personal TikTok. Alright, so these are in order, and I got my little notey notes.
Oh, that is so many.
Yeah, some of them are kind of like repeats.
You weren't fucking around.
I was not fucking around.
I mean, I didn't think you were, but...
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna start with this one.
Get tested if you have an autoimmune disease. According to the American Autoimmune Association, on average, it takes 3 years, 4 different doctors, and about $50,000 to obtain an autoimmune diagnosis. Once you obtain that diagnosis, you will be told you need to take an immunosuppressant drug for the rest of your life.
That is not accurate. You will not need to be on medication for your whole life, except if it is too late when you catch it. So that is not factual. And I also looked up for rheumatoid arthritis, the rate of remission in a study, the abstract of the study. If you know anything about medical literature, there's an abstract, an intro, and a review, and a conclusion. It says with new treatment strategies, drug-free sustained remission is becoming an achievable goal. So,
AKA what you are literally living through right now.
Yeah, exactly. This is false. I don't care about the rest of the video. She goes through like panels and shit to get. I'm not worried about it. So we're just gonna skip this one, the rest of it. But I do not like that people are already spewing, oh, you're gonna have to be on medication for the rest of your life. Let's not put that in people's heads. No, let's not. Next one. This one is actually kind of funny. So brain fog, fatigue. I don't have like temperature stuff. Definitely stiffness. Okay. Next one. So this one says, it's just her like crawling in her bed, but it says most people develop autoimmune diseases after being stressed for long periods of time. If you grew up with a chronic illness or autoimmune disease, it may be time to check on your childhood trauma.
That seems sus.
From being in the mental health field and whatever I just told you at the beginning of this video and any other video, factually incorrect. So, Bean! Hi, Kelly! You want to make an appearance?
I don't think she's on camera in frame, but you can remedy that easily.
There she is! Oh, okay. It's the beans. Alright, puke breath. Alright, so.
Yeah, she vomited like 30 seconds before you were about to roll. So.
Yes. Also, I'm so sorry if this side angle is disgusting. Let's not talk about it.
I'm sure mine's worse.
Anyway.
I'm sure mine's a lot worse. Like, I'm terrified to look at this camera angle on me.
Anyway, we're just here for the information. The information is solid. So this creator does not know that it is genetic in most cases. So growing up with stress doesn't inherently cause an autoimmune disorder. I found on the Harvard blog about a new study that says autoimmune disease and...
There are 5 things to
No!
discuss.
Oh my god, that's the same lady from before.
Yeah, I know, it kind of... Stop touching shit. Okay. Autoimmune disease and stress, is there a link? And I quote, a new study has raised the possibility that stress may cause autoimmune disease such as lupus or rheumatoid arthritis because it found a higher incidence of autoimmune diseases among people who were previously diagnosed with stress-related disorders. So for me, stress can bring on flares in a person who already has an autoimmune disorder, but stress doesn't inherently lead to getting one. So it also says compare tendency to develop an AID, autoimmune disorder, with at least a year later after being previously diagnosed with a stress-related disorder. And they stated, because this was an observational study, meaning they're just observing people in the wild and what they're reporting to them. So, they said it is more likely to be diagnosed with an AID Individuals with stress-related disorders are more likely to be diagnosed with an AID. About 9 per 1K patient years who had stress-related disorders, but only about 6 per 1K patient years among those without stress-related disorders.
What's a 1K patient year?
So basically, it is 9 people per 1,000 people after that year that they studied. So basically the number is 6 without stress related and 9 with. So the difference is 3 points. That's just slightly higher. It's not like 50 and 1, you know? It's pretty close. So it says it's still unknown because it's an observational study. In addition, it's possible that something other than the stress-related disorder was to blame for the higher rate of AIDs. For example, people who have been through severely stressful circumstances may be more likely to smoke and has been linked to an increased risk of certain AIDs, including RA and MS. So, if that gives you context. And that was quoted. Alright, so next one. You ready? Mm-hmm. Do we need to restart? Are you doing okay?
I can do one more. We have 2 minutes.
This is going to be really hard to swallow, but extremely necessary to hear. There is not a coincidence between these 2 new facts that we now have proof of at a scientific level. Most people who have autoimmune diseases, 70% of them are women. And recently, the New York Times just basically told us straight up that women are the shock absorbers of society. Meaning, there is a direct correlation.
There is not a direct correlation. No. Correlation is not causation. Go back to your stats class.
Between autoimmune diseases and women not understanding how to have emotional hygiene, emotional health, emotional intelligence, so that they don't take on everything all the time for everyone. It's not your job. Your job is to take care of you and to make sure that you have a solid foundation of your physical, emotional, spiritual, energetic, and mental health.
That is so
That's
toxic.
non-negotiable. Things need to change in this.
What she's essentially saying is that if you do develop an autoimmune disorder, that it's because you don't know how to manage your emotions and your stress level. Like, that's completely backwards.
Hashtag autoimmune disease. Hashtag emotional health. Hashtag anxiety awareness. Hashtag depression awareness. Those... One's physical, one's mental. Yes, they can intertwine, but emotional, like mental health, doesn't directly cause that. There is not a direct correlation, sorry to tell you, sis, but no. Go back to stats. Alright, so in the Prevalence of Autoimmune Disorders in Women, a narrative preview by the National Institute of Health.gov, and I quote, AID present with a clear gender bias with greater prevalence amongst women occurring at the rate of 2 to 1, meaning 2 women to 1 man. Many AID tend to affect women during periods of extensive stress, such as pregnancy or during a great hormonal change.
Because if you already have it, the stress will flare you up.
Mm-hmm.
Not because the stress is actually the root cause that you have it in the first place.
Right. It also states, and I quote, X chromosomes also stains. So stains in the medical field means like checks for. A greater amount of immune-related genes as well as immune regulatory genes, which aids in reducing immunological responses to the body, meaning the XX chromosome is going to have a higher rate of immuno issues rather than an XY. Does that make sense?
Just another thing of bullshit that women have to put up with more often than men.
Pretty much. And this affects me. So, and I quote, those affected by rheumatoid arthritis experience thickening of the synovium fluid due to the inflammation, causing deterioration of the cartilage and bone of the affected joint. It is hypothesized that women between the ages of 40 and 60 are more likely to develop RA compared to men due to undergoing hormonal changes during menopause. Menopause decreases estrogen and progesterone levels, which is thought to serve as a protective mechanism for bones and joints. Estrogen in larger quantities can decrease inflammation by increasing regulatory cytokines, such as interleukin and transforming growth factor B.
That's
Beta.
a lot of medical words.
Basically, the higher the estrogen decreases inflammation. In menopause, you're decreasing estrogen, increases inflammation.
Which is why the people only think that older ladies get it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, I don't like this at all. The verbiage in a lot of these videos are very
Manipulative.
matter of fact as well. Like, oh, it's proof. It's this. You know, the New York Times said this. Okay, where are your facts? Just stating it doesn't say anything. Show me a study. And I looked, and I didn't find that much, but my Google search knows me well enough where, like, they're gonna give me, like, fucking actual medical studies. So, not blogs.
That's why cookies exist.
Exactly. Alright, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
An autoimmune condition, you are being lied to about this. I'm Marissa Fay. I'm a hormone and gut health expert for women. I help women reduce and reverse their symptoms and actually feel better with natural.
Trigger warning for MLM, PTSD, and gut word. Not feeling it.
Symptoms and actually feel better with methods. About 20% of the women in my practice who I've helped over the last 6 years have been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition. And another handful were threatened with this type of diagnosis.
Threatened. Threatened with a diagnosis. And she claims herself to be a hormone holistic nutritionist.
Does she mean to say at risk for developing that? Because that sounds like the concept of what she was trying to explain.
Yeah.
Just,
I think
that is disgusting.
I think she's trying to say, if you went to a regular physician, rheumatologist, and they said, you probably have RA or an autoimmune disorder, and then you're like, oh my god, I don't want to be on medication. And then you go to this fuckhead, sorry, and she's like, oh my god, they are so threatened by this disease, and oh my god, like the world is gonna end. And it's like, no, like you'll be just fine. Take your meds, do what your doctor tells you, your fucking physician. There's another one that I'm pissed about that is claiming to be a doctor, and I want to like off myself. Not really, but like, yes. Okay, continuing.
You should email them and ask them if they printed out their doctor's certificate at home.
the online at courses.com for PhDs.
So I'm very familiar. You've probably been told by your doctor that there's not a lot that you can do. This is incorrect.
I agree with
80
that.
to 90% of autoimmune conditions are caused or majorly contributed by something called leaky gut. Leaky gut means that the junctions in your intestines are loose or permeable. This is a bad thing. We want the junctions in your intestine to be tight. so that it keeps anything inside of your gut. Because
That has nothing to do with your immune system.
Yes and no. So leaky gut is not the cause, it is a side effect. So people with Crohn's or something like that, there are some autoimmune disorders that are more bowel, intestine.
Is that why you get tummy issues?
I don't know. Listen, I'll shut my brains out all day, every day. Just don't give me something else. I'll deal with it and take Pepto for the rest of my life. But that's why, like, people with AIDs who have, like, lower issues, lower AIDs, they kind of all go in that realm in a way. And yeah, she is correct that, you don't want shit in your colon to come out into your cavities. So, yeah, I do agree with that. So, but I don't think it's the direct cause.
If something is leaking from your colon out into the rest of your body, you're probably at risk of dying.
Probably, yeah. So anyway, let's continue.
Like, rush in for emergency surgery type of shit.
I'll kind of just float around for a minute. But yeah, you should.
in your gut are not only things like food, parasite, candida or yeast, bacteria, both beneficial and not beneficial bacteria, and a host of other kinds of organisms that are not meant to travel outside of your gut. When you have leaky gut, the junctions in your intestines are more like this. See how you can see through my fingers? That means everything I just mentioned can now travel outside of your gut.
Because in your gut
This
are not only
triggers
things
your immune
like
system.
food,
Because your body is like,
candida
This
or
is correct.
yeast, bacteria,
what the fuck?
beneficial
Something is
and
very
not
wrong if
beneficial
that is
bacteria,
traveling outside.
and a host of
We
other
must
kinds of
attack it,
organisms
get rid
that
of
are
it, do
not meant
something
to
with it.
travel outside
Your
of your gut.
immune system
When you
does
have leaky
not
gut, the
just
junctions in your intestines
fuck
are
up
more like
out of
this.
nowhere for
See how
no
you can see
reason.
through my fingers?
So if you have an
That
autoimmune
means
condition,
everything I just
you need to
mentioned can
know
now
that
travel
there's a
outside
lot that you
your
can
gut.
do to either
This
reverse
triggers
many
your
of your
immune
symptoms, even
Because your
potentially
body is
all
like,
of your symptoms.
what the fuck?
But there's a
Something
lot
is
that you
very
can
wrong
do
if that is
naturally to
traveling
manage your
outside.
symptoms better
We
and
must
feel
attack
better
it, get
on
rid
a
of it, do
day-to-day
something with it.
basis.
Your immune
Please
system
do
does
not settle
just
for bad information.
fuck up out of
Information
nowhere
like your
for
diet
no
doesn't matter,
reason.
your habits don't
So
matter.
if you have an
Like things
autoimmune
like doing
condition,
gut healing
you need to
doesn't
know
matter
that
because
there's a
It's like
lot
she's
that
calling
does
herself
and
out
can
by
reverse
using the lies
any of your
graphic.
symptoms,
you have a question about an
all of your
autoimmune
symptoms. But
Yes,
there's a lot that
so,
you can do naturally to manage your symptoms better
I don't know
and
what
feel
school this
better on a
person went
day-to-day
to, but it
basis.
clearly was a Delulu one
Please do
because,
not settle for bad information.
so y'all gonna make my
Information like your
fingers
diet
straight if
doesn't
I
matter,
like
your
take
habits
some
don't matter.
holistic
Like things like doing
supplement?
gut healing
They're gonna go
doesn't matter
straight.
because
My
it
knees
does
aren't gonna
and
hurt
it can
anymore.
change
My
your life.
synovial fluid's just gonna magically grow back. That's what it means to me when she says reversible. Reversible means it goes back to the original state at which it was prior to whatever thing happened. Like an apartment, when you turn it over, it's not reversible because it's never going to be in the exact same condition it was when you first moved in. So I don't understand how, like, the damage is already done. You can't reverse damage. You can't reverse wrinkles. You can't reverse, like, that's not just how age and time works and disorders work. So I'm pissed off at that. And the amount of times this woman says gut, I want to literally off myself, and we are now entering MLM territory.
Why is she promoting some supplement brand?
Alright, so let me read this
Yes, she
comment. So this comment reads, I asked my rheumatologist about how I can help my immune system and asked about leaky gut, and she said that leaky gut is just a theory. And here are the replies. So the original commenter also stated, background, I have had psoriasis since birth and recently diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease. I am 29. The creator responds stating, have you checked out my free training and my link in my bio? The 3 secrets one, I talk more about contributing factors to these health issues. LOL, I hate how many doctors say that. Leaky gut is also called intestinal permeability. There are many studies on this that you can find in the literature. Ma'am, listen to me. That is not what she asked. She did not ask what leaky gut is clinically called. She didn't even ask a question. She just said her doctor said, her legit rheumatologist said it was a theory. So you're stating that there's studies, hand them over, sis. Hand them over, because I don't see them. Mind you, I'll put in a clip of going to her page because I am a psychopath. And we went to the link in the bio, and it's very, very interesting.
Sus.
So
why am I saying sus all of a sudden? I've never said sus before in that link.
Alright, so her profile, her main bio says, watch now, free class, how to control your cortisol and balance hormones naturally. I could do a whole nother video on that. But her link says @Marissa Faye Wellness. Alright, so we go to it. Oh, what do you know? Balanced hormone membership. We have DIY course, balanced hormone blueprint for $397.
Ew.
Watch, balance your hormones and cortisol. Free cortisol reset roadmap. Schedule a discovery call. High quality supplement store. Case in fucking point.
Shit.
Yeah. Women's
If
hormone.
if somebody's selling shit, that's a red flag.
Yes.
You all should know that if you have basic tech and internet literacy, but not everyone does.
Her, I guess, credentials, which are a lack thereof, states women's hormone and gut health nutritionist. I will see if I can find what MLM this bitch is a part of, because, like, we're not having the misinformation over
the
here.
supplement link.
Actually, let me try and guess. It might be... I don't know. Let's see.
What if it's, like, private labeled?
Oh, I'll dig into it.
And it's got her fucking, like, brand on it just because it's, like, a private label shit.
I will find it. And I will put it in if I find it.
Do it.
Okay. Alright, back to everything else. So, alright, where's my mouse? I saw something today that was like, oh my god, when you have multiple screens, you're constantly looking for your mouse. And I'm like, yeah, that is me.
That's why I'm doing multiple screens.
I love my multiple screens. Alright. The next one, this little girl.
A doctor would have told me this when I was 7 years old, right? These are the top things that I have done that have truly changed my life. And I've only learned this in the past, 2 to 3 years. Number one is healing my lymphatic system. Every single person with an autoimmune disease lymphatic system is broken. That's your toxin clearing pathway. The founder of Symbiotica talks about it, which is an amazing supplement brand, and their supplements are really good too. Ways that I've started clearing my lymphatic system that have helped and made a huge difference in my life are a machine called Flow Espresso, a power plate workout, makes a huge difference. Lymphatic drainage massages, you can do sauna, dry brushing, gua sha even. There are lymphatic supplements that I highly suggest as well. And this just has made a huge difference in my health and wellness, and I would say everyone should try it. The next one is micronutrients, and if you're deficient in something, which most people with autoimmune diseases are deficient in vitamin D and vitamin A, and amongst other things, and you will often have a gut microbiota imbalance as well, but really focusing on your nutritional deficiencies. There's a guy I recently found, he's a PhD, he has a Substack blog, I love him, I'm obsessed, his name's Chris Appleton, I think, PhD, and he has a whole blog about micronutrients. I paid the $20 a month subscription because I'm so excited about him, but yeah, just eating as many foods as possible that will get you your vitamin A, taking vitamin D and getting it from sunlight in as many ways as possible, and even not wearing sunscreen. Like, I personally don't all the time because I do need vitamin D. You don't want to block yourself from the sun all the time, right? Just hide the wrinkles, of course. The next one is that your body is literally made of vitamins and minerals, so you need to be making sure that you're getting the proper vitamins and minerals. When I was 15, 16, I did this bentonite clay detox, and I actually drank the clay. You'd have to research that yourself if you're going to do it or talk to someone. I can show you guys what I did. That helped a lot, but now I just put mineral drops in my water and have electrolytes, and it works for me. And honestly, these three things, focusing on lymphatic drainage and detoxing my system, really, really focusing and finding out what nutrient deficiencies I had, which everyone has vitamin D and vitamin A with autoimmune disease, like almost everyone. And then really like focusing on my vitamins and minerals and just making sure that I'm getting what I need, because for us, we don't absorb food like other people, so we really need to make sure that we're watching for our diets, right? That has made a huge difference in my life, and I suggest if you have any problems, like just start here, please, I'm begging you.
Lymphatic supplements, didn't know that was a thing, didn't know we needed it. Your lymphatic system is basically your immune system is within the lymphatic system. So if you just have an autoimmune disorder, your lymphatic system can still run partially correctly. Like the other parts can run correctly. It's not like the whole system is down.
I'm so sorry, my cat's an idiot.
Yeah, she is. Anyway, alright, and some of the things that, like, I have helped with being in remission is, like, eating a little bit better, making sure I'm moving part of the time. Like, a body in motion stays in motion. If you run all the time, you are probably going to be in physically a little bit more better health. You know, maybe some, like, stress fractures from, like, running or something. But, like, even just going for a walk, you know, you won't have such, like, you won't be a tin man. You know, you won't need oil. That's the whole thing. If you just have a balanced diet, drink more water, don't eat garbage, and, like, move your body, you should be, like, okay to at least assist in your body helping to get better. That's it. That's why I don't understand this.
Generally across the board is good advice.
Right, exactly. So this one, listen very carefully. I'm just going to play the intro. The rest of the video doesn't matter. This is what pisses me off about the industry.
Autoimmune disease, let's get into it. What's up, you guys? My name is Madison. I'm currently in the process of becoming a health coach with a specialization in autoimmune diseases and
A health coach.
With a specialization in autoimmune diseases and gut health.
A health coach?
Yeah, where you, like get a certificate.
You can do it!
Like, you get a certification online for, like, knowing what supplements go with, like, what part of the body, and you just kind of, like, recommend them to people and get paid.
Health coach? How about a fucking doctor?
Yeah, you are not a doctor.
Or a nutritionist, or...
Yeah.
That just makes you sound like...
Yes.
A hack.
Miss Mad's Gut Health, you are not a doctor. Please do not do this. Please don't. It's okay to, like, give basic information if you know about it, but it sounds like you don't know what you're talking about. So, moving on. Next one. Alright, I don't like the sounds for this, but I just, like, want to off myself with just the first caption. It said, food swaps that helped me cure my lupus and autoimmune disease. Ma'am, if you don't stop using definitive language with something that cannot be cured, I will jump through the fucking internet.
You cannot cure genetics.
Yes, exactly. I am in remission. What does that mean? It can reappear at any time, okay? It doesn't just go away. It can temporarily go away, but it's always going to be there. So I don't understand how this is a thing. Yes, certain foods are
There's
like...
a crackhead under your chair.
A what?
A crackhead.
I know. There are certain foods that do indeed exacerbate inflammation, things that are like spicy or whatever. Fine, I get that. There are also some foods that help calm it down.
Spicy exacerbates everything and everybody.
Right. So there are also some foods that also calm you down, calm the inflammation down. I understand that from a medical perspective. However...
But claiming that it'll cure it,
yeah. The food is not that powerful. I'm so sorry.
It's like fucking medical clickbait.
Yeah, exactly. Pissed me off. Like I said, a lot of these I'm just pissed off from the beginning.
And they're acting like certain things are just a miracle cure.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, being conscious about what you're eating and taking better care of your body will help. In general with a lot of things, but it's not going to, like, completely reverse things.
And even a lot of people in the comments, one person said, cure? You can't cure lupus. Lupus doesn't have a cure. You can't cure an autoimmune disease.
Can't cure stupid either.
Yeah. Cure? Do you mean in remission?
For her.
And now
that's
she's
remission.
like, oh my
That's not
God, be the miracle patient and overcome it. Because if I can, I believe you can too. Ma'am, shut the fuck
That's
up.
not a miracle patient. That's just thriving.
Yeah, it's being in remission and doing good things to
Yeah.
help your body. Like, some people can go in remission, some people can't. It just depends. Alright, so here's where I lost my ever-loving fucking mind.
Is this what caused the...
The whole thing caused it.
Oh.
But this made it even worse because he has doctor in front of his name and has an actual medical clinic out in Denver, Colorado. Yes, so he is Dr. Ben Galliard.
I thought you were going to say Dr. Ben Dover or something stupid like that.
Oh my God. Alright, so let's watch this.
Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, FA Well Centers. Autoimmune is stoppable. For some people it's fixable, for some people it's reversible. It is an amazing thing that happens in the body.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. So sorry. It is reversible, it is stoppable, it's an amazing thing that happens in the body. Girl, what the fuck?
Did you know that your choice in words has weight?
Yeah.
And it impacts how people will interpret what you're saying?
Sir, was it amazing when I was in college and I had a flare-up for 20 out of 28 days in February and I was crying because I could not walk 5 feet from my bed to the bathroom to take a fucking pee? Is that amazing to you? I would be so glad if you could experience that for me because, like, I didn't want it. It was not amazing. What the fuck? Alright, let's continue. We're not gonna watch the rest of it. We'll put the links in and all that, whatever. Alright, but anyway, so he is a doctor at F8 Wellness Center, right?
Where's that?
It is in Denver, Colorado.
That checks.
Yeah. So,
No hate against Denver, it just feels like the kind of place that would have...
that in fucking Utah. Alright.
Yeah, you tell me where.
So, his website, Functional Medicine for True Wellness. At F8 Well Centers, we use Dr. Galliard's method of functional medicine to dig deep, take you by the hand, and help you reach your goals. We work with patients from all over the country, in person and remotely. Sir, I don't know what kind of ego or narcissist complex that you have, but what is your method exactly? Because now I'm confused. Are you, like, transforming medicine that, like, we didn't know about? Granted, I may not know about it, but, like, that just sounds suspicious. And, okay, so there's that page.
Oh, is he selling shit? Scroll down.
Yeah, the next
He's
thing
selling
is
shit!
get a free digital download of our latest book.
He's
Get
selling
access.
shit.
Blood sugar doesn't lie. And then it says how F8 Well Centers work. Discovery call, new patient exam, report of findings. That's fine. Who we help, thyroid, autoimmune,
Oh, not the
ADD,
fucking
ADHD,
ADHD shit.
gut health, depression, blood sugar.
Okay, I'm curious. Click on the ADHD thing and see what they say about that.
Learn more.
Not the fucking fidget spinner! It's the banner picture!
Wait.
Go up.
I know, I see it.
The
I see
fucking
it.
fidget spinner!
Okay. Calm your ADHD ass down. How F8 helps with ADHD and ADD. I already have a problem with the fourth word in the first sentence.
Isn't ADD, like, not... Isn't that, like, an outdated diagnosis?
No, because
Oh.
ADHD is attention deficit hyperactive disorder and ADD is attention deficit disorder.
But then...
So one is more hyperactive, one is less hyperactive.
No, with ADHD, there's two different types. There's inattentive and, I believe, hyperactive.
Yeah, it could be that they just got rid of ADD and then just said type 1, type 2.
I think so.
It is possible. I have
Don't
not read
quote
the
me on it,
the
but-
DSM in a while.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, how F8 helps with ADHD and ADD. We use our proprietary Galliard method, which is the doctor's name, to get to the root of your ADHD and ADD condition to help you get on the path to true
It's
wellness.
also genetic!
Yeah. You feel me. You feel my pain.
I know there's tons of pseudoscience out there for neurodivergence as well, but oh my fucking god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Continue.
So, ADHD can be found in adults as well. Some
No
experience.
shit. Because it's a fucking... You just have it. It's just part of you. It's like having brown hair or brown eyes. Like,
Yeah.
it's in your fucking DNA.
Alright. So some experience hyperactivity while others struggle with the ability to pay attention, and some suffer from both. However,
That's the only correct thing about that so far.
Yeah. Discover how F8 can implement solutions for your ADHD using functional medicine. ADHD and ADD are often masked with medication. However, there are holistic options that work too.
Ew.
Inattentive, hyperactive, and impulsive and combined. Causes. What causes ADHD? It's not completely understood. However, there are a few theories.
I know where mine came from.
Her
name is Dawn.
It is suspected that ADHD is genetic. Most children who suffer from ADHD also have relatives that have been diagnosed. Another theory is that ADHD may be caused by worsened by the mother smoking, drinking, or experiencing extreme stress during pregnancy. I have never heard that, but okay.
My mother did not
Do any of that. Yeah.
She's never smoked. I've barely seen her drink.
There may also be a correlation between premature birth and ADHD, but further research is needed.
Fucking god.
Okay, I am a child of a mother who smoked while she was pregnant. I know, not
So
cool.
was our father.
It's fine.
He was like a super preemie, if I remember correctly.
I was also a preemie. I was a month early, or not a month, like 2 weeks early. I don't know.
I was so late that they literally had me. They were scheduled to take me out the day before I actually decided to come. Because I was just on my own fucking time.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, you've been cooking for too long.
Yeah. So I have a big problem with this.
Yeah, this place is just red flag after red flag.
Absolutely. And listen, I don't care
We've
where...
gone on a secondary rabbit hole.
It's fucking relevant. It's relevant. We're almost done. Alright, moving on. So I'm not going to play the music to this one, but it's this girl like cracking her back. And she's like, me on the way to tell the world how I gave myself a rare autoimmune disease that destroyed my nervous system and paralyzed me from the neck down due to stress and anxiety. We already covered this at the beginning of this video. Mm-hmm. Stop it, ma'am. Sorry. Okay. This one is just her looking around in the car. It says, most people develop autoimmune diseases after being stressed for long periods of time. If you've been diagnosed with a chronic illness or autoimmune disease, you may have experienced lots of trauma. Again, we already covered this at the beginning. Not correlation is not causation. Or correlation is not causation. Why are people doing this? I don't understand. It's the same thing that happened with the mental health craze. Everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's got trauma. Everybody's got anxiety and there's depression and this and this and this and oh my god. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop using trendy shit that is actual medical stuff, because people are going to start self-diagnosing themselves and like freaking themselves out. Just please stop. If you are not a fucking professional, stay off of it. I know I'm not a professional in this area, but I think having something for 28 years is pretty damn good enough. Mm-hmm. So, at least also knowing how to do research on it. It appears that these people have not done research from the internet's standpoint. There's no links to stuff, so I'm not sure.
It's like they came across a TikTok one time and then they compartmentalized it as fact.
Yeah. Even if they have it, fine. You know, my heart goes out to you, hope you get better, fine. But don't say, oh, this girl says hashtag lupus awareness. Okay, so maybe she has lupus. My aunt has lupus. My aunt is also in remission. So, and she's in her 50s. And yeah, we all had a little bit of trauma growing up, but that's not what caused it. So even if she does have it for however long, that doesn't mean you see something on TikTok and you immediately regurgitate it as fact on the internet. Do your research. Look it up. Like, I know not everyone's Google search is as catered as mine to, like, finding medical records. Well, not medical records, medical studies. But goddamn, it's fucking easy.
Also, it's a good lesson to be like, if you hear something that sounds intriguing to you or
Fact
shocking,
check it.
Yeah, take that nugget of information and dig deeper and
Yeah,
look for
understand
sources
it.
and
Try to understand
Yeah.
it. The best way to understand something is to read it.
be curious about it.
Yeah. So
You know?
if you don't understand the study, you can go on YouTube and find actual clinical fucking doctors explaining it or explaining what is happening, and then do more research on it, and then you'll be able to understand more of the verbiage on it, or ask someone. It's really not that difficult, and I don't understand why more people aren't doing this. So it's just background noise. She's moving around her apartment. It says autoimmune disease is not a genetic problem, aka false. Your genes only account for 30% of why you developed an autoimmune disease. I cannot fact check that at the moment. I couldn't be bothered. The other 70%, your environment, diet, and lifestyle. You have so much control over feeling better. I'm Laura Cloudis, your autoimmune life coach.
There's that coach word again.
I cannot, with the word coach or mindset or pour into.
I feel like
I
coach
wanna
is like
run
a
it.
triggering word for you with your MLMs.
Yes.
So you always talk about
Yes.
coaches.
Yes, it is. I hate it. I hate it. Certain things I just can't deal with. This one is also a little girl bossy, so trigger.
Girl boss.
I can't give any more information. But I fear I may have girl bossed a bit too close to the sun.
I love her face though.
I love that phrase so much. It's one of my favorite phrases of all time. Girl boss too close to the sun.
So it says, when I thought I could handle working 80 hours a week post-graduation and developed an autoimmune disease.
80 hours. Jesus.
Incorrect, ma'am.
And
Thank
discovered
you.
you had an autoimmune disease.
Thank you for trying.
Working 80 hours a week probably flared it up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this one, I don't like the sound, so I'm gonna mute it.
I do too.
But it says, okay, sorry, I'm gonna back it up. My bad. Well, went too fast. Okay, things I get asked having RA. Have you tried yoga? Yes, it's great, still have an autoimmune disease. Have you tried the natural route? Yep, still have an autoimmune disease. You know those meds will kill you, right? Yep, that's exactly why I'm taking them.
Oh, so this is moving on to like the relatable fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the palate cleanser.
Next one. Okay, she's just cooking, and it says on the screen, I have an autoimmune disease named rheumatoid arthritis. I was diagnosed when I was just 2. Hey, I was 5. I lived with my inflammation my whole life. It has attacked my life 2 times, and I've managed to keep it in remission for 11 years now.
go!
Kudos to you, Amanda Pinheiro. Congratulations. This one is absolutely
Here's the
hilarious.
definitive list of everything that will cure you of rheumatoid arthritis.
Me with autism.
I love this. I love it so much.
That's it. Good luck. Well, here's the
Alright. Well, hope y'all.
Oh, we're at the end already?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Let us know
You
your.
blasted through that.
Yeah, a lot of them I just could not be bothered listening to again, so
Yeah,
sorry. We will put the videos in there. Maybe I'll do like a pause of us and then post the video. So that's a note for editing Allie. And yeah, please comment down below your thoughts, opinions. If you have an autoimmune disorder, I'd love to hear it, love to share stories. If you need someone to talk to, our inbox is always open.
And if you've had a similar experience with a lived experience that you have being absolutely butchered by internet misinformation, we'd love to hear about it.
What y'all think? Maybe we'll do one on hormone balancing.
Oh boy.
Cause I got some thoughts.
Oh.
Listen, when I paid attention in anatomy, it was my favorite class.
Yeah.
So
I've also had some ideas that I've been wanting to work through lately. Like, I saw a post recently. This is completely off topic, but I saw a post recently about Fleetwood Mac and all their drama, and it reminded me that one of these days we are going to sit down and do a video, and I'm going to teach you all about a band that was just as messy as Fleetwood Mac about a decade earlier.
I think you mentioned this to
Mamas
me
and
before.
Papas,
Yeah.
I love them so much, but my god, most of that band is just toxic.
Fair enough.
Not necessarily Fleetwood Mac levels of toxic, but like close.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think it will be interesting. I've been kicking around an idea for a very long time about diving into television characters that either are autistic or they have enough traits where I was like, I think they're on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one specifically that I want to talk about. I also showed you the paper that I wrote about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to figure out how I want to present that. And I want to do research, and I want to rewatch the series and really, like,
Get into the nitty-gritty.
dive in, do, like, a really detailed, like, put my whole entire pussy into it, because I just want to do that topic justice.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know?
how I felt
don't
about
just
this,
slap
too.
the thing together.
Yeah.
I
That's
want
what
to
I
make,
was
like, a full-on sit-down fucking video essay about it.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I want it to be, like, one for this channel or one for my solo channel.
It could be either.
But
It could be both.
We'll see how that materializes.
Yeah. So, more
Good
to
shit in the
come.
works.
Yeah. More to come. Hope
And
you
we gotta do more
enjoyed.
cringe reactions. Now that I can actually get drunk over here.
Yeah. We will.
And I have to do a room tour, because I think that'll be fun.
You can do it on the Take Up the Talk.
I sure can.
You sure
I need
can.
to
You need
unpack more
to
stuff.
get those tiki-takis rolling, man.
I need to unpack more stuff.
Are you a seal right now?
A little bit.
Okay. Anyway, we're gonna
I don't know what
this
this pose is. I just wanted to stretch my leg muscles, and I just ended up like this.
Okay. Goodbye, y'all. See you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Have a good night.
The
Over and
timer
out.
was just about to run out.